Yo everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to my games during week 18 of the Geoguessr World League. I was against Skill Issue and Orlando, the two Brazilians, so I was doing a lot of Brazil practice leading up to it. Yeah, let's get into the games. Starting off in Sweden here. Wasn't sure if it was Finland or Sweden immediately, but we had no yellow border on the outside of these signs here. The bus stop was probably useful to someone, but I haven't learned them yet. I definitely need to. Because yeah, they definitely do come in handy. But yeah, we're both just moving along. I find pretty small place names on these signs. I mean, I think they're somewhat findable. Especially the thing on the right here. I don't look at it for too long, but there was a place name that, like, the place name was findable. It was just, what did I have? I think I had Horn the Force. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. Still got a nice reaching guess going north. Then next round here, I thought about Insistent and Lafia, but I was like, may as well wait. He's probably going to get Lafia, so, you know, no point in Insisting, I feel. And then, yeah, I mean, I probably should just skip because, like, nothing much is going to happen. Oh, he actually finds info. I find nothing, but I mean, he's got like a 3 population 10. I get this last second, but I don't have time to click a Rezhekne. But yeah, I got the province border at last second there. Which, you know, a few more seconds if the movement was a little bit faster, then I could have, you know, gotten it. But yeah, so I was familiar with Rezhekne. This he sent, yeah, he probably expects me to have decent UK place knowledge because place name knowledge because you know I'm from nearby, and I do to some extent. But yeah, we both go for similar region guesses there. 82 points. Then we get a Kenya round, and I don't actually. So this like, it's very hard to read, but in red, it says Capsaret, but I thought it said Capsabet. Which is this. So this is Capsabet, but if you zoom into where the lock was, which is here, you can see Capsaret. So I thought it said Capsabet. I was like, it kind of looks like an orb, but like it makes a lot of sense to say Capsabet. And like the caps that are kind of regional anyway. Like there's Capsa War here is the other noteworthy one. And then Cap. Like there's a lot of caps in this region anyway. So I was like, okay, even if it's not a B, then you know I'll be fine. So I was willing to send it. But yeah, I think yeah he got a very nice guess. I don't know if he got info or what, but he basically he got the county correct, if I recall correctly. Yeah, he's ever so slightly across Eldoret's border there, but yeah, 5 points. Yeah, the caps are at 50-50. Yeah. The next round back in UK would have liked if these were Ireland rounds. On this round, I was like low-key thinking of Insta-sending because if I Insta-send, like he's expecting me to be the moving player and not Insta-send, right? So if I Insta-send, he might think it's Ireland because I've got a confident region guess or it's like my house or something. He actually gets info, fair enough. I did not. But yeah, I mean, I don't think his is anything is useful anyway. Like Newton's, I mean, I don't know where they are. But yeah, I was thinking of Insta-sending so that potentially he'd think it's Ireland, but yeah, I find signs last second here. Find the Newton sign. But yeah, he kind of scanned that area, and yeah, I was definitely thinking it fell south, but I didn't have time to you know, scan. But yeah, then we get a Poland round. And this was this one annoyed me because you'll see what happens. So it's kind of just like annoying moving. I assume there's a place name on this Shrodowiska or something. I thought would be the place name, or else the thing on that would be the place name. And then I see Water North, but I'm like, we're fully enclosed. Could it be a lake? Maybe. So I look here, like I check for the town names, and I don't see any of the town names. Unless wait, is that the town? Wait, let me make sure I didn't troll. No, we were here. So yeah, I didn't see any of the town names, even though I had a few things that I thought were town names. So I was like, I didn't send it, but like I knew, like you can see my face. I kind of like, what's the word? I could have gotten it. I don't know. I don't know how to like recreate it. No, it's not a grimace. It's I don't know. There's a word for it, but yeah, I definitely missed an opportunity with that one. Okay, this one I didn't think it looked like East Java, but we had East Java pavement and he insta-sent, so I'm like, okay, he is 100% insta-sent East Java, so I'm just gonna send with him because I'm not too confident in Indo. I hate words like when you go like like in Indo, and then you get me. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I didn't want to trust the pavement, but I kind of felt like I had to. But yeah, this round, he is. I thought you might have found info at spawner because like we had this thing at spawner. I was like, is Atera a town name or something? Um, and yeah, I don't know. He just went Rome, which is fair. We had, I think, Rome trees, but it looked a bit more south to me. So Naples worked out well. Then the next round, this round. Oh, we don't talk about this round. So we have the county is Valchea, which I never heard of, but I'm like region guessing. I'm like, okay, we're somewhere in these mountains probably, because yeah. And I look in like these mountains. I mean, the zoom level's off, but like I'm currently zoomed in here. But the problem with Valtrea is I'll leave this play. The problem with Valtrea is that the town is like not in the mountains. So I was looking like in the peak of the mountains, looking for Valtrea is here. And in here and such, like I basically just scanned this line, but I didn't scan south enough. Like I didn't scan south of the mountains for the town name, which was Valchea. But yeah, he looks at it there, but didn't realize it as well. It's also harder to find because it's Romanichu Valchea. I mean, I've heard of it. I kind of trolled. I'll definitely learn Romanian counties at some point. Maybe before regionals, maybe before World Cup. But yeah, Nigeria. He sends. It's round 10, so he kind of has to. I get Kogi State. And I zoom in to make sure that it is Kogi State, and it is. Because yeah, that's the nice thing about Nigerian State versus like Kabu Patents or something. If you're not 100%, I mean, I was pretty confident, like I entered into Kogi, but you can always double check, which is nice. But yeah, he had to try something fair enough. But yeah, expecting to win the moving game. He's got one of the lowest average guess times in moving, so I knew I just have to like stay locked in, make sure he doesn't guess off without me noticing another timeout. And yeah, that was the game plan. And was happy to get the moving win. And then we get the Indonesia round here in no move, and we had the Java antenna, or I think Java antenna exclusive. It's like it's East Java antenna, but like it's all of Java. But it looked like Medora Island, so I sent Medora just with the topography being a bit weird and it being a bit dry. This mountain I thought looked a bit more north, but I was like the coverage feels very label. But yeah, I mean I should have trusted the mountain. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I just hadn't seen much 2019 fall coverage like too far north, I thought. So yeah, but I mean I'm not too good familiar with Norwegian what's it called? Coverage. And this was Japan round. We didn't have any pole I thought anyway, but we did. So I see it to our southwest, if I recall. There's a pole. Or yeah, west, southwest. And that's the Kanto Square thing. And we had like the ditch here, raised, like the levee, I think you'd call it. So I was like, okay, how's there water southwest of us? But it was just this like big river here that kind of shows on the map. It's blocked there, but I'll just show you. It was this. So we had like a levee here, to our southwest, or we had this to our southwest. Which yeah, maybe I probably should be 5K'ing that, but it's fine. This round, I thought it looked like Estonia, but we have a Latvian pole northwest here. But I thought it looked like Estonia, so I clicked ever so slightly north, and it did not pay off. But 72 points was fine. Then we get a Panama round, and for some reason my brain just didn't brain this round. It makes so much sense in hindsight, but I just didn't even think of to scan it. So we have like a mountain southeast. I didn't notice the coconut palm because it just felt like kind of dryish vegetation. Like I didn't notice the coconut palm, which would have, because you see a coconut palm there north of us, and you also see bananas, which yeah, I probably should have realized that with mountains southeast and flat east, that the northwest pocket made a lot of sense. So yeah, I just didn't. But we both send close to Santiago. He looks northwest, but he doesn't commit to it. Yeah. But yeah, you can see his reaction. He was definitely considering it. But yeah, 126, I was fine with that. But I definitely missed opportunity there. Should probably be realizing that flat east makes a lot of sense for the north coast there. This was Bangladesh. So it looked like my mincing rice, but it looked like it was 23, right? So 23 with my mincing rice, you're supposed to send a like rancor. But I was like, okay, this looks so much like me mincing that I'm just gonna say updated copyright and send me mincing. But it was actually just rancor, which I should have sent if I was to trust copyright, but I did not, which is not the best thing. I don't know why I'm not trusting copyright there, but yeah, I would have been kicking myself if that ended up making the difference. Yeah, we have asymmetrical poles here with tiled roofs, so everything kind of pointing towards East Java there. Was slightly scared of Lampung, but I was like, yeah, it should be East Java. And yeah, we both go towards Malang there and do 68 points, 1200 point lead, getting close to round limit. And then we get a very diabolical US round. So we had something to our southwest here, which looked very dry, or very warm, I guess, not dry. But that, like this stuff here, like it was just scaring me, and it's why I didn't hedge North Dakota South Dakota border like I probably should have, because like it looked like one of the two. Like everything except for that to our southwest, I don't know what it is, looked North Dakota South Dakota border, but yeah. He goes Canada because yeah, it does look pretty northern other than the things I'm talking about. But there's a US underground electricity marker visible in the distance. But yeah, he gets closer in Canada, which is a bit unfortunate. 1,700 points for that is kind of rough. But yeah, going into round 9, we have a round that I first thought was Brazil, and I was slightly concerned because I was like, okay, what if this is his house or something? But I had been practicing Brazil. And then I realized, oh no, it's sun south. Poles are not Brazilian license plates. And then I was talking to him after the game about this because you can see his reaction. Like he guesses, and then you see. So what happened here is he sees a yellow plate. I don't know where he sees it, but he told me he saw a yellow plate. And then he guesses, like North Colo, thinking I might not see it, because he wasn't sure. And then as soon as he guesses, he sees the Google car stripe, and he's like, oh, it's not Colo. Which is very unfortunate. If I had seen the yellow plate, I probably wouldn't have even checked car and just sent North Colo, or started scanning North Colo. But yeah, he kind of knew it was over when he guessed. But I got kind of lucky that he saw the plate and I didn't. But yeah, we did take the win 2-0. Was slightly concerned about the the Canada incident doing 1,700 points. I would not have been too happy if I lost the duel on round limit based off of those 1,700, but yeah, was able to get the win. I had a nice Mexico reaching guess as well, to be fair. I assume he would have went somewhere Veracruz, Tabasco, but 45 kilometers away. I probably would have done a little bit of points. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we do take the win there. And then 45 minutes later, I had the game 2 against Orlando here. And we start off in Argentina. I first thought it could have been Brazil, but I was like, no, it's Arge. Which I think I'm good at Argentina. I've got decent place name knowledge. I roughly know phone codes, kind of. And we have Victoria here, which is a town in Entre Rios, which I knew, of course. And yeah, I probably I don't know. It's like I was slightly concerned that it wasn't, because Victoria is also a name, right? Like Queen Victoria or whatever. I guess Omnibus Victoria, like first name Omnibus, second name Victoria, probably isn't going to be a likelihood. But I didn't even read the Omnibus. I just saw the Victoria and I was like, oh, it's Victoria. And but I should have sent, because if I send that, right, I take 8 seconds away from him. But I was slightly concerned that it wasn't, so I checked the grid line, and now there's no time left anyway. But yeah, I was slightly concerned because Victoria was a name and also a town name, but it looked enough like Entre Rios to be willing to send it. But yeah, pretty not the biggest of cities, so I was happy that my place name knowledge came into play there. And then next round, New Zealand. I didn't look around properly at spawn, so I didn't realize that the best way to go was this way. But I very quickly get to a sign. We have the 1. We see this. I know Dargaville and I know Whangarei. Yeah, we had the 1 and the 12, which is kind of unfortunate because if we go to this, actually I'll just let this play because he gets close anyway. He almost didn't send north, but he did. So the 1 and the 12, right? So I'm like, oh, it's here, right? But yeah, the 1 and the 12 also meet here. So yeah. No, that's the wrong game. I was like, I was very confused. But yeah, it's this intersection instead of this intersection of the 1 and the 12, which is very unfortunate. I mean, I probably should have realized that I said Whangarei. Actually, wait. There's a chance I said Whangarei North because we were here, right? If I recall, we were here. So then, yeah, I would have said Whangarei Northeast, which, like, Loki, like, yeah, where I had it, like, kind of makes sense because I think I clicked Waipu or something. I don't know where I clicked, but yeah. Anyway, we get a UK round here with the most, like, tiny place names of all time, which was unfortunate because I like to think my UK place name knowledge is decent. And we have road numbers, though, so the 400s are kind of like between Bristol and Birmingham, roughly. Don't quote me on that. Oh, he actually has a yellow one here. I didn't even did I? I don't think I saw that. That's definitely helpful. But yeah, we both end up hedging slightly east of Birmingham there, and he's a little bit closer, but was only 222. I was a little bit, it's always unfortunate to get like the 600, 500 damage in round one, like I did in the Argentina, because like with 3x, 4x, that's like 2,000 points, and yeah, this was an Estonia round. As soon as I got to where was it? Like I think when I changed coverage, I was like, this kind of looks like the islands, which was maybe insuspendable, but decided not to. And then I moved here, see a sign, and I'm like, okay, Kurasare, that's the island one. If I recall, my brain lagged as I was processing it. And yeah, I tried 5K, but yeah, I forgot the town name that we were in. Unless we didn't even have it, I'm not sure. But I didn't know it anyway. Kind of unfortunate because it's as close to him as possible while being as far away from me as possible. But it's fine. And yeah, I should have been able to do better with the distances, but wasn't too major. This round kind of annoyed me. The movement was very bad heading south, so I was like, okay, I'm going to head north. Movement is ever so slightly better, but not much better. He has a police checkpoint. Like I'm wasting too much time looking around, and I'm not sure if there would have been info, but where I got to at the end, it feels like I'm 1 second away from getting info. I see nothing west, which slightly helps because it looks southern, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll be clicking Panay or Negros or Zamboanga. My main thought was Zamboanga, and I was just like not confident enough to send it, unfortunately. But like I could kind of tell here, like I'm like this could have info, like these buildings could have info. Like it just felt like the info was going to be this, like the intended thing with the handpicked map would be that. But yeah, I just didn't have time, so I moved from here in the water up to here because I'm like it's too risky to commit. Yeah, you can see my reaction. I mean, it's not a major reaction. It's not as much as the other one, but yeah, I definitely thought Zamboanga made a lot of sense with the abundance of palm trees, but it was too risky to commit. And then we get Ohio, with the Ohio state shields. We're both gonna know them. One of the ones that you don't have to learn because it has the state shape. And yeah, I found the 22 pretty quickly, and I found the 7 and the 43 fairly quickly as well. And then in my head, I was thinking, like, okay, if he misses this, it's max east. This could be a lot of points. Because it's like, if it's middle of the, like, if it's Columbus, right? Because the 22, like, goes to where he clicked, right? He clicked on the 22. It's like, he's going to center hedge Columbus every time if he doesn't find it. Because it doesn't make sense because it goes between Cincinnati and here. Like, it goes from border to border, if I recall correctly. Like the 22 goes down to Cincinnati. So it's like he's gonna click middle. So the fact that it was max east was like so good for me. It definitely like it went from like because if it's just like Lancaster, I get 200 points, but I get thousands there, which was very nice. And then we get a Russia round. We have Belgrade. It's not tilted left antenna, so it should be southeast Belgrade. And I sent southeast Belgrade, and I win the game by 23 points. 23. So yeah, was happy with that. Like to see the Russia, but I was already winning before that, so cope. And was happy with that. Was feeling good. Felt like I played the moving pretty well. The New Zealand could have went slightly better. The Argentina, I probably should have sent Victoria quicker. And the Zamboanga was unfortunate, but felt like I played pretty well overall. This round was diabolical. First thought, Scotland here. I feel like that's a pretty default first thought. Checking the fences, they low-key feel like they could be Irish. And the soil is like the road soil is kind of weird. for Ireland, but I was like, the trees low-key look kind of Irish. But they all look pretty Scottish. So he instantly starts moving to Scotland. But he decides to change his mind, which is valid. I definitely considered France here as well. But yeah, he moves from middle of England to France. Which yeah, I considered Norway, I considered France, but my main thoughts were UK. Like order of like likelihood was UK, Ireland, Norway, France for me, and then maybe Italy, but probably not. But yeah, then we get Brazil. I was practicing Brazil, luckily. Coming up to it, I did like 100 no move games and like 10 moving games of Brazil this week, and also relearned area codes and postcodes. I didn't fully learn postcodes, but I got the general idea of them because I hadn't learned them before. But I mean, they're like low key very useful, but they just don't drop too often. But I was just scared that we'd get like a no move postcode and I'd lose if you knew it. But yeah, we both sent Husera the Norte here, and it was just elsewhere in Sierra, so we give the cheeky wave. Yeah, unfortunately, we did a lot of damage pre-multis, but you know, it happens. This looked like New York to me. We have the like RPMs that are not New York though, like they're Pennsylvania to like Kentucky, I guess, latitude. Or Tennessee as well, right? Wait. Yes, Tennessee as well, I think. So I was like, okay, it looks north, but I mean, it's like as far northeast in Pennsylvania as possible. Like, I would have been closer if I said New York without the thing, but it's a little bit unfortunate to have the RPMs there, but yeah, it was fine. This was the interesting round. First, I was Philly, and I was like, oh no, not Philly. And then I realized, oh no, it's Thailand. And I'm like, oh no, it's not Thailand. Like, I don't know, they're both like, it's like, it's like the lesser of two evils. I don't even know which is the lesser one though. I would say Thailand is, I mean, I mean, Loki, this lock is more evil than a lot of Philly locks because like we Loki had long insulators on this. Like, I looked at it again at the end. Like this, like these look like long, like super thin long insulators. I don't even know what they are, but these didn't. So I was like, okay, I'm going to ignore these, and I'm going to. Well, I didn't fully ignore them. I hedged for them. Like I go in the Gulf of Thailand, but yeah, he goes south because it definitely looks south. As a possibility. Like I can see that vision, and then he probably trusted the insulators as well. So then, yeah, that's what he did. This round, I didn't even realize at the time. But it says kilometers on the thing, but I didn't even check it because I was like, okay, it's a mile marker. I know it's America. I don't need to check it. But yeah, I think he gets confused by the kilometer marker because yeah, it's a kilometers is very rare in the U.S. Yeah, I was watching the broadcast and then they were like, oh, you get them in Arizona sometimes because there's like I know the Mexico to U.S. border road in Arizona has it as kilometers, but you also get them in reserves. Which I did know, but I didn't even notice that it was kilometers. So me clicking in Navajo Nation was a little bit lucky. But I basically get the road there. And yeah, I was a little bit confused as to why he went Mexico, but I didn't notice the kilometers. Because they like the thing was US, but like the thing on the US thing was Mexican. So it's a bit confusing, but I didn't even notice the kilometers. But yeah, I do get the 2-0 win there. So 2-2-0s. Couldn't have went much better. And yeah, we will look at the standings. We are in 7th. But as you might notice, I have 3 less games played than Moo, and I have 1 less point. So, yeah, in theory, I'm ahead of Moo. And then if you look at Harrier, I mean, I can show you the points per game, but actually, I'll just show the points per game now. So I've made my own spreadsheet because Crania is asleep, I think, as of recording this video, and I wanted to record it sooner rather than later because I've got, funny enough, Excel exam on Wednesday. So, did some Excel study by making this, brushed up on, my VLOOKUPs, features, etc., etc. What am I saying? Okay, anyway, I've got it sorted by points per game. So I own up to 2 points per game, which I haven't been on for a while because I did drop towards 1.8. But I've been playing pretty well, I guess, recently, which is nice. But yeah, decent lead over like this. Like this is a pretty significant margin, and yeah, happy to see that. But like this is very close. Like here, even Lenley and Sheena, both on 1.75. Like this is very close between them. Oh, don't change the formula, please. I don't think it did. But yeah, very close between them. But I've got a decent cushion, like, 0.13. And Moo has only 2 games left, so it's like, it's more on me to not fumble than it is on Moo to cook, because he has got a smaller sample size than me. And if you think about it, Moo's maximum points is 75 because he can get 6 points from 2 games. So if I get 7 points from my 5 games, then I'm above Moo, and I beat him in our 1v1, so I am winning the head-to-head as well. And then if we take, say, Captain, who has 7 games left, so he can get 21 more points, which will make him end at 79. So, if I get 11 points for my 5 games, I am guaranteed above him. Or I guess I need 12 because he has the tiebreak over me. And then Harrier can end at... he can get 9 more, so he can get 74. So if I get 6 points, I'm ahead of Harrier. If I get 7, I'm ahead of Moo. And if I get 12, I'm ahead of Captain. So, yeah, it's looking decent. And also we can see opponents' points per game. It's not Crania's formula. I think Crania did something. I don't know what Crania did, actually. But I'm hoping my formula isn't scuffed. I'm scared I did something wrong with Excel. Because, yeah. But I think it looks right. You can see everything here. I've also made it so you can see everyone's remaining games left. Although there's a high chance this is wrong, to be honest, because what I did was I did it this morning after the first set of games, and then I manually removed the games that were played in the evening slot instead of redoing it with thing, if you get me. So how to explain? I don't know. Brain not working. So yeah, I just removed, so let's just say, I don't know, I had also skill issue Orlando here, so I removed skill issue and Orlando, and then I went to Orlando's games and I removed me, and I went to skill issues games and I removed me as well, and did that for everyone. So there's a chance I missed one, but hopefully I did not. Yeah, I guess we can look at the points per game of the people close to me. So or the opponent's points per game of the people close to me. So yeah, Moo pretty wait, how does Moo have 4? Wait. Because I didn't remove Castroller and he played Swan Gambit as well. Okay, let me just fix this real quick. Okay, much better. Wait. Think that's right, allegedly. Looking up I8. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so yeah, Moo has 2 left. So yeah, 1 point. Okay, now that yeah, because he removed. Yeah, okay, so we're basically the same opponent's points per game. But yeah, he's got Amaranth and Lero. So hopefully we'll end up above Moo. And then if we look at, let's say, I guess Captain and Harrier, 1.72, 1.8. Harrier, that's tricky. Radu, yeah, Radu's a tricky one for sure. So as I was saying, Harrier can get up to 74 points if he wins everything, but it's not too unlikely that Radu gets a 2-0 because it's Radu C, the GOAT. So it's, yeah, there's a chance that Harrier gets capped at 71 points instead of 74, and then I'm very likely to go above that, hopefully, allegedly. And then if we look at Captain, he's got 1.72 average. You've got Consis, which, it's Consis, very good player. Eamon, very good player, who's been playing better now than he has been towards the start. So it's a bad time for Captain to get against him. Orlando, good player. Sheena, good player. Stefan, good player. Lero, good player. Spaghetti, good player, and does very well against people who are better than him in terms of points per game. Spaghetti has, he beats everyone that he's not supposed to beat. If you go to Spaghetti's schedule, and we just look at some of his wins. So, he has 2-0 Debray, right? It's just I don't know. That's not what you expect to see, right? 2-1 Blinky. That's just it feels illegal, but that's just the way it goes. He's got some very impressive wins. So there's a chance that he also beats. Why am I looking at this? I should be looking at this. So there's a chance he also beats Captain. I mean, it's a chance all of them beat Captain, but Spaghetti is the Kingslayer, I suppose. That's what I'm trying to say. And then yeah, I mean, all of his opponents are pretty good, as evidenced by his 1.7. Like, who's his lowest points per game? Would probably think it's Spaghetti. Yeah, Spaghetti and Orlando are neck and neck, unless I'm missing someone, but yeah, I think it's with them. Like 1.4 is not even too low, like it's, that's a relatively high lowest opponent. Actually, I guess I could have looked up, I did this for a reason, so yeah, they're the two. But yeah, then you can see the rest. Like, it's a tricky lineup. Like two 1.7s, a 1.8, a 2.4, a 1.5, and two 1.4s basically. So yeah, don't want to prey on Captain's downfall too badly, but I inevitably do. And it's like, as I was saying, my goal is to be 6 points ahead of I think I said this in the last video, but my goal is to be 6 points ahead of the next person in EMEA, and looking like it's like, so I'm almost, let's just say 0.2 ahead. It's very nice that I've got like the only round number in the entire thing, the 68 to 34 being very nice, and everyone else are irrational numbers, which is cool, I guess. But as I was saying, like I'm 0.2 points per game ahead of him, so across 40 games, well 39, but let's say 40, that's 8 points, so that is the 6 I require to have an extra level of safety in the World League, or in terms of majors, because it means the person who gets 5 points in Europe cannot pass me no matter what. So then only 3 people maximum can pass me in Europe, which is very useful. And when you're looking at the fact that I am, probably ahead of Mu, and I've got a decent gap over Zigzag and Lero that I just need to not fumble. Although they've got they've got a good few games left to catch up, like 7 games for Lero, 6. Although their opponents are relatively hard, as you can see here. Oscar's got a rough one. Blinky Debray is quite unfortunate. And yeah, I mean, Lero's got tricky opponents. I mean, everyone in the league is good, of course, but Blinky and Debray are the two standouts. And Lero captain, actually, because so one of them is going to go down because they can't both get 2 points per game from playing each other. And the same with Mu, actually. So yeah, these 3 are going to be nuking each other. Or I should be saying these 3 and removing that. But yeah, I'm actually yapping like crazy. Anything else of note? And Harry's got very tricky, as I said. And then yeah, there's like decent chance that Lenley passes out Harrier, because Lenley's schedule is easier and Harrier doesn't have too many games. Even though he's 7 points behind, that's like 3 less games played. It's like, if Lenley gets two 1s and a 3-0, that's tied. And then Lenley's games are easier than Harrier's. He does have Blinky, don't get me wrong. But like when you account for Blinky, removing, like let's just get rid of Blinky's points per game average, and suddenly it's 1.3. That's what I'm saying. So it's very it's like Blinky is tricky, but like it just shows that his other opponents are lower in points per game, even though, because Blinky dragging it up still brings it to 1.5. So yeah, Lenley versus Harrier is going to be a very interesting final race, I think. Strefon still on paper could catch them. Kratzu even as well, pretty close to Lenley, Harrier, etc. Especially with schedules. I mean, Kratzu's schedule is pretty decent, especially if you remove Debray. And then I guess Strefon's is quite diabolical, with Contis, Captain, and Radu being very high in the points per game department. And then I just realized Strefon is playing 3 people who are fighting for their lives. Or he's fighting 4 people who are fighting for their lives in Europe, which are Armani, Castroller, Malfunction. Because if we go to this, and we go to Europe, and we go here, Mada, Malfunction, Castroller, Armani. It's like these 4. He's got these 4, so he's like the gatekeeper, I guess. So that's going to be interesting to watch. And then, yeah, what's happening with Spaghetti Crania? Okay, so Crania's dropped a good bit below Spaghetti, to be honest. I think it was closer before last week. I don't know what happened. I guess Spaghetti... Wait, how does Spaghetti's games go this week? Yeah, so you got the 2 against Trickter and 2 against Amarin. I think were both today. I could be misremembering, but also lost 2-1 to Strefon, but Strefon, it's not a bad loss at all. So yeah, he's passed out Krania a good bit, but Krania's schedule is significantly easier. Like, Captain Radu Sheena Malfunction is a tricky lineup. I mean, Krania has Blinky, but I mean, all the players are good, of course, but yeah, will be an interesting to watch that race. And then I think I think Ocean Man in theory can pass out Orlando. In theory, 35, 33. Like, it's not the end of the world for Ocean Man. Like, of course, he's behind by 2 points and 2 games, but like, Orlando's schedule is not easy. Blinky, Constance, Debray, like, like, let's say, like, it's not like Orlando's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but it's not too unlikely that Blinky, Constance, Debray 2-0 him. Especially when moving, he's not as like he's like no move. He's closer to them than he is in moving. So if the moving wins a guarantee, then he just needs to lose like the 3 no move games, and then suddenly like he's lost. Yeah. So like let's say he's up to 36 games with 46 points, and then suddenly Ocean Man's 2 points behind with 1 game difference. I mean Ocean Man doesn't have easy opponents as well, of course, but 1.4 is a lot lower than 1.9. So that will be interesting. I mean, it's just so it's just so exciting, with everyone being so close. And then anything else interesting? I mean, Europe is just very interesting. Towards the bottom here, I like 33, 53, 33, 53, 33, 51, 33, 49. Like that is so close. And then Armani 32, 46 could in theory go to what's Armani's schedule? Because that could go to 33, 49. Armani has a pretty doable average. For sure. So that will be fun. For him, it'll be fun to watch. I'm not necessarily fun to him for him. I mean, it's nice for him that it's easier opponents. But it's also stressful. But that's gonna be fun to watch. And then I mean the same applies to, Malfunction, Castroller, Mada, Clement. Like if we look at Clement 1.5, Mada 1.6, Malfunction 1.4. So yeah, it's very close. Like I mean, Clement is like got the relative. I mean, I don't know. It's way too close to call. Like it's like it's going to be like. I mean, even Strefan could drop like because he's got pretty hard matches, right? Like he's got Contis and Radu. Like if Strefan doesn't get any points from Contis and Radu, suddenly, he's 33 games with 53 points, which is the same as Clement and Mata. So, like, this is, it's incredibly close. Like, these 3 are, tied, and then Malfunction is 2 points behind them with the same games played, with an easier schedule than 3 of them. So then it's like, she can easily, knock one of these 3 out, and it just depends. And, like, Castroller is pretty close as well. Especially because I think his schedule is relatively nice, if I recall. Oh, never mind. It's possible though. But Armani is the one with the nice schedule, actually. Yeah. And then even Pan is in contention, and maybe even Sadzu. Like, in theory, like if they 3-0 everything, then they could knock people out here. But yeah, these 3 are definitely like. I mean, these like 8 people are fighting for these 3 spots. Trickster is. I guess Trickster isn't even safe either because he's got 34, 50. It's actually so close. It's way too close for my liking. Kratu 33, 55 is kind of safe, and then 32, 58 is of course pretty safe. Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. The last few weeks. Do I have anything else to say? I mean, yeah, this is the spreadsheet. I mean, feel free to pause and inspect and tell me what I did wrong with my Excel formulas. But I think it's right. I also like the color scheme of this. I think I slayed personally. What am I saying? Anything else interesting? I mean, I didn't mention like in theory I can pass MK because of his schedule. Like Debray plus Radu. Wait, is that right? No, it's 6, but it should be 4. Yeah. So he played Kratsu and he played Castroller, I think. If I recall correctly. So let me just do this. I mean, I think wait, why is that? No, I think the formula is right. Yeah, 1.6 should be matter, right? Yeah. So yeah, don't know what that did to his average, but it's pretty high. So in theory, Debray is catchable. Or not Debray, MK, but it's not too likely. But if he loses to Radu pretty badly, I mean he can lose to Radu, Debray, Mata. Yeah, I mean they're all losable, of course. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it should be fun. I think 4 weeks. Can I see on the site? Because I know my last game was April 13th, but I'm not sure when the actual last one is. So this goes to March 30th. Can you tell me when the World League? No, this doesn't tell you. So that goes to March 30th, and then information. Tell me about the World League, please. Yeah, it's not telling me the date of the World League, unfortunately. And that's not going to tell me. But I assume April 13th is the last one. November to April. I mean, it's not telling me the specifics, but yeah, I assume that is the last week. I also mentioned in the previous video, but I only have one game on the last week, so I have 5 on the last week because I have a new Swan Gambit next week, and then I have Mada, and Sheena the week after, and then 5 the last week. And it's nice to have only one game in the last week because it's like, in theory, the highest pressure week because, like, you know, it's the last time you can change the standings. So it would be like, it's better to have less pressure on the last week because, like, let's say I have, like, let's say I don't want to need 4 points from 2 games. I'd rather need 2 points from 1 game to, like, make what I want in terms of points per game or whatever. But if you get me, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's less pressure. But yeah. Do I have anything else to say? Sorry for the crazy. Yeah, I mean, everyone has. I need to look at the viewer retention on this because it's probably diabolical. But yeah, World League coming along nicely, I guess. I also need to plan like my recap of the entire thing. I don't know what I'm going to do for that, but there's like a lot of stats with like country average rounds and stuff, so I'll definitely be looking at that after the last week. And yeah, make sure to watch the games next week. I forget the times, but you can probably see them on the website. I mean, I can probably look at the website as well. So there they are at 12:30, 1:15. I think this is Irish time, so +1 if you're in Central Europe, or -4 if you're West. Although, wait, daylight savings is. Wait, is daylight savings March 30th or March 29th? Actually, that's going to be an issue. I can definitely see someone missing their game by an hour if daylight savings is happening at that time or on that day. But yeah, make sure you tune in. Should be fun. Okay, I'm just editing this in because the games left section was wrong. A few people were wrong. If I remember correctly, Swan Gambit, Fly Me, Sadu, Fau, Castroller, I think, is allegedly Anshina. I think that's everyone that was incorrect, but I might have fixed 1 or 2 more as well. But yeah, this should be correct, so feel free to pause the video, and I will now cut to the outro. That is not over the correct spreadsheet, so ignore that one. This is the correct one, and hope you all enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye, and peace.